Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I just want to address issue about food. So in this one I'm going to give you an option of different types of food that you can eat to replace, let's say, one carbohydrate that is a staple food in your country. And majorly I'm going to address the issue in Kenya. Our staple food is ugali, and it is made up of maize flour. We get it from the maize flour. So currently our inflation is very bad. The inflation is bad. Food prices are high. You find families are sleeping without food. Mothers and fathers, they are really struggling to put one single meal in the table for their children. Even families, even you find fathers now, because they have nothing to bring home, they just go somewhere, sit, delay so that they can find everyone in the family are asleep. So whom are we blaming? No one. It is us to now know, devise methods on how are we going to survive. Maize or ugali is our staple food, but in a situation where we cannot afford, what will we do? Will we just stay and die of hunger? No, we must learn how to now eat other kind of food. Maize now go for $2.2, which is like 220 shillings. It has never reached that price, I think, since independence. So people are really getting hit by the prices of food, especially the staple food. So what is my advice? We have other food. Maize is a source of carbohydrates. So we have other kind of food, other types of food we can now source out and start eating to replace this kind of food which has become expensive. So one is cassava. Cassava is nutritious when it comes to nutritional value compared to the maize product or the maize flour or the ugali. Cassava is very nutritious, and if you follow good agricultural practices, when you are producing cassava, you will find that a unit area output is higher compared to that farmer who wants to plant maize. And cassava is a drought resistant. One of the things that is contributing to low production of maize is the issue of climate change. We are really experiencing a drought. Like, for example, this year, we can count the number of days we have been receiving rain. And most of our farmers, they are depending on rainfed so that they can produce this maize. But we can count the number of days this year we have received that rain. So, and every stage of our maize require rainfall so that they can produce in that stage. So what will happen if this drought will continue? If this dry season will continue, what will happen to those farmers who have the maize plants in their farm? They can start counting losses. But if God now will open the ways for the rain to come at least. But remember, because since the beginning of the year, we have been experiencing this issue about rainfall. The pattern of rainfall this year is not that good, it's bad. So not all farmers, you cannot compare the number of farmers who grew maize this year with those who grew maize last year. Issue came in with the high prices of inputs. So most of the farmers, they were unable to access those inputs, so they forgo planting maize. Maybe they just did the planting of maybe a small piece of land. So this tells you that even next year we'll be experiencing the same things, because there will be low production of maize in the country. So this is our staple food, but that is a traditional mindset we just have in the mind. This is a carbohydrate, source of carbohydrates. we have to remove that traditional mindset and the comfortability of thinking that this is the stable food in my country, I must eat. No. Go for cassava flour. Eat that cassava ugali, and you just come and tell me that ugali is sweet. And for those farmers who are going to, if they have not started growing cassava, they are lucky, because even those people who are in semi-arid areas, those people who are in areas where the rainfall is just little, you are good to go, because cassava is a drought resistant crop, and cassava will produce more than maize per unit area, as long as you follow the good practices which are required in the production of cassava. So from today, start consuming cassava as a source of carbohydrate to replace that ugali or maize flour. The second thing that we need to now start thinking is rice. Rice also is a source of carbohydrates, and you can replace it with now the maize flour or the ugali. So start consuming rice, though because of the issues of those issues about Russia and Ukraine, where it affected also the prices of rice. Now there are different kind of different brands of rice from different, because we also import rice from different countries. So at least you can still get that 1 kg of rice with that price that you can still afford. So shift from maize now to rice, because rice function the same way as maize. So if you're that person who don't like rice, start today liking rice, because it's also a source of carbohydrates. The other one that you can shift into, although now it's expensive also, is wheat products. That is wheat flour. You can make products from wheat flour, but don't consume a lot of wheat products, because they are not healthy when you consume a lot. But that one can replace also maize flour. But now their prices also are have shot up because of the issue they're talking about Russia and Ukraine, because they are producing a lot of it and they are exporting to different countries, and those are one of the countries where we import a lot of wheat from. So the other one is yam, and it is, I know most of the people, they are not familiar with yam. But for those people who are from West Africa, they can tell you a story. Why are people from Africa very strong? When you find people, those men from West Africa, they're very strong, they're muscular, because they're eating well. They're eating cassava, they're eating yam. Those are very strong food that a man should eat. And also yam is one of the crop which is per unit area. The output are very high when you compare with maize. So let us not stick on what is stable, but let us learn how to devise methods. Let us learn. The issue is not about the quantity or what we are used to. The issue is the quality that we are taking in. So what most of the people don't understand is, by the end of the day, we must balance the diet. We must balance the food. So it's not about the quantity. You just want your stomach to be full. No. It's about the quality of what we are eating. So know the kind of food, carbohydrates. Know this one is a source of protein. Know this one is a source of mineral. This one is a source of fat. So after knowing that, now you can combine different types of food, and then it can give you a meal. So don't stick one kind of food, just diversify. The other kind of food that we need now to start consuming is potato. And I know someone will tell you that I cannot eat potato, I must get that ugali. No, sorry, my friend, currently ugali is expensive. So, potato is also a carbohydrate, and remember, potato also contains protein content in it, but maize doesn't contain. So, you need to change that mentality from your head and start now eating potato also as your main meal. The other thing that we can consume is green bananas. I know people are getting used to, like, we just want to eat green banana maybe during lunch or maybe breakfast and we're done. At night I must eat ugali. No, start eating green bananas. They are good for your health. And those are the things that you can, for green bananas, they can produce, like, if you, let's say you grow it and then it starts maturing. At least you can continue harvesting for some years, not like maize. When you grow maize today, after 6 months, you harvest, you're done. There's no other like you are going back to get other products from it because it is continuously growing up. But for green bananas, or what we call matoke in East Africa, you will be harvesting because it is going to develop maiden. It is going to develop until now, when now it's no longer producing the amount that it used to produce. That is when you think of maybe doing now the rotation, bring another type of crop, then you take to another area, because we want to minimize the transfer of diseases, or like transfer of diseases from if doing rotation is one way of getting rid of maybe if disease was developing in that area. When you bring another type of crop which is of different family, it is helping you to also fix fertility in the soil, fix those nutrients, and also to if disease was developing, those crops which belong to different family, at least you are able to control those diseases. The other kind of food that you can shift into is plantain. And most of the people will ask you, what is plantain? Plantain are so sweet, they are nutritious. And for plantain, you can eat it in the morning, you can eat it in the during lunch hour, you can eat it in the evening, as long as you look for other like for plantain, you can just eat plantain with fried plantain with tea. So Kenyans who are used to bread is expensive now, shift to plantain. Shift to plantain. You just fry them and you're good to go. And you eat it with a tea. You can do it like with stew, different stew, even beans. You can eat beans with plantain. You can even eat plantain with beef, anything. It's just about you setting your mind and saying that I have this kind of food, this. It will enable me to get that all balanced diet that I'm required. It will give me my protein. It will give me my source of carbohydrates. It will give me minerals. It will give me fat. You see, it's about balancing the diet. So this is an opportunity for also farmers, to those people who are planning to start farming as their venue of entrepreneur. Or if you are already in the entrepreneurship in terms of production of food crop, you can start even growing plantain, because we have a lot of people from West Africa, because that is one of their staple food they're used to eat. And sometime back, like 3 years ago, they used to look for that thing. Like they will ask where plantain, they used to source in few places, but now I can see that you can find plantain in many areas. So start shifting to those kind of food. We have arrowroots, and arrowroots is, at least it's common, nduma. We call it nduma in Swahili. So arrowroots are very nutritious also. You can eat them for breakfast, you can eat them for lunch, you can take them for supper. And you know, in terms of production also, arrowroots, when you follow good practices, you will produce a lot of arrowroots, which you will sell, you will consume with your family. So, and these ones are nutritious. These are food which are nutritious. You don't have to add anything. You just remove them from the farm, and like wash them because they're very dirty, and then you don't need to add oil, you don't need to add anything. You just boil them and you're good to go. You don't need to add salt because arrowroots have a kind of natural salt. So you see, you know, the moment you're consuming a lot of salt, it affects your body. Those are the things which affect our health. You are not supposed to consume a lot of salt or a lot of like manufactured sugar. So if you shift to this kind of food, you are also saving yourself because you are taking in healthy food. So you see, we have a lot of options, but it is only us who have refused to think. You find people growing peas, but they are not consuming. They're just selling everything to the market. Those are other sources of food. We have a lot of food. It's not time to say that I must kill to get that type of food. No, it's time to now learn that we have to diversify. The population is growing. People want food. Drought, climate change is an issue. You know, climate is an issue which is worldwide, and you will find that even we are not majorly contributing to issues to global warming, but we're feeling the impact more than those countries which contribute to global warming, which is bringing about climate change. So we have to think, and we have to devise ways, and we have to encourage other people so that people should not die. People should not die of hunger, because if you die of hunger, it's not good. It's not good at all. So, you know, for me, what I've learned is when I want to eat, I just look at what does this food give me? What is the value of this food when I eat? It's not about stability or staple food in a country. No, for me, it's about the balanced diet, the quality. So you will find me taking for people it will be weird, but for me it's not weird, because someone found me eating bread, beans, and vegetables, and they were like, seriously, what kind of food are you eating? Bread for the source of carbohydrates, beans for my protein, and then vegetable for vitamin. So you see, it's about us to think twice, because the situation will take even if we import maize, even those countries, their population is growing, climate issues also is reaching them. So it will reach a time, it will be like even them to produce which is enough for them to export to us will be a big issue. And I once told someone that it will reach a time, it will be hard for people to access the staple food. This is the time. So let's change. Change is, you cannot avoid change. Change is always there to bring positive things or to bring negative things. But all of it, we call them economic important, because it's either negative or positive. So it's about us to decide if we're going to die of hunger because we are missing the staple food, or we change our ways and adopt this other kind of food so that we can continue with the life. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it is going to help you to start embracing all other kind of food and start thinking about it's about the food security, which is defined as the quality food, enough food, and healthy food getting into our bodies. So until next time, you be blessed.